Hello everyone, welcome to my 50 facts about me video. I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, but I just haven't gotten the chance to record it, so it's finally happening today, so I'm really happy. My goal is, of course, 50, but I don't have a script or anything in front of me, nor have I practiced this before, so I don't know exactly what the final count will be, but my goal is to be 50 plus or minus 5. So 45 to 55 facts about me is what you should be expecting from this video. So let us begin. My name is Anita, last name Ko. I do not have any middle name or anything. Some of my friends call me Coco because of my last name. So Ko times 2 equals Coco. I am a CBC, which stands for Canadian-born Chinese. My family came from Guangzhou, also known as the city where Cantonese came from. Therefore, I speak Cantonese at home. I also speak Mandarin because I've watched TV and listened to music that were in Mandarin in the past, so that's where I learned Mandarin from. And of course, I know English. I've been in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada my entire life. I was born and raised here. All my friends are here. My family, like my immediate family is here. And besides going on vacation, I have never left this city. I've actually never left this home. So I've been living here in this house since I was born. Now, because I love food, I'm gonna start talking about some food facts about me. My favorite food is naan. I am not that picky, but I do have some dislikes. The food item that I dislike most is ginger. A close second would be okra. So ginger and okra, that's absolutely no for me. I will try to avoid these foods at all cost. I am allergic to cinnamon. The reason why I have these around is because I'm not exactly sure if I am allergic to cinnamon or if I'm just really sensitive to cinnamon. So when I was in elementary, my school had the snack program, which means that they would offer us a different snack every day, and we can either keep it or we can, eat it during break. One of the common foods that they gave us was a quarter of a cinnamon bun. And at first I didn't make the connection, but later I found out that every time I had a quarter of a cinnamon bun, my tongue would get really fuzzy. I don't know if it actually becomes fuzzy, but it's really uncomfortable and it lasts for several days. So since then I have tried to obviously not eat cinnamon. But the problem is some of my friends have claimed that they have added cinnamon in their baked goods, which I have eaten, and I've had no reaction to it, so I don't really know if I still have it, like the allergy. And then another thing about cinnamon is that there has been instances where I've had coffee and dessert at certain restaurants in the city and I've had a reaction to that. So my conclusion is that it depends on several factors, such as the amount, the type of cinnamon, the brand of cinnamon, how the cinnamon is prepared. So my reaction is more, I think, like a sensitivity towards it, not so much an allergic reaction. But I try to stay away from cinnamon. I love noodles, especially noodles in soup. I can have noodle soup any day of the year, whether it's cold weather, hot weather, any day out of the 365 days a year. I am a noodle person over a rice person. I think it's because I ate a lot of rice growing up in my house, so now that I'm older and I can make food choices, rice is not my preferred carb. My favorite fruit used to be apple, but now it has changed. I don't have a favorite fruit anymore, but my top 3 are strawberry, cherry, and banana. My favorite cuisine is probably Korean. I love Korean food. There's a lot of variety in Korean food and I like all of them. Usually there's something in a particular cuisine which I don't prefer, but I haven't come across that in Korean cuisine yet. So Korean cuisine is my favorite. If I could only have one type of food for the rest of my life, ramyeon, instant noodles. I love instant noodles. My favorite beverage is coffee, and in particular, I love Americanos. I like black Americanos to be more specific, then followed by water and juices. Okay, moving on to sports and recreation. In a previous video that I've uploaded, I talked about me and badminton. I used to train competitively, but then I stopped because of school. So my favorite sport is badminton. I also used to play table tennis or ping pong. Like I went to lessons for that too, but it was more like recreational. I never did training for that, but that was still fun. And then I, of course, stopped playing. A sport that I've always wanted to attempt, but obviously now it's like I'm too old for it. But I wanted to, like for the longest time, I wanted to try gymnastics. Yeah, like junior high especially, I wanted to try gymnastics. But I was already spending time on badminton and table tennis, so I didn't have time, nor did my parents want to invest in a third sport. So therefore, I did not get to do any gymnastics, but it's something that I would have wanted to do if given the option. Sports that I enjoy watching, figure skating, soccer, and occasionally basketball. I know that as a Canadian, I should be really big into hockey because Canadians generally are, but I actually have no interest in hockey. I don't think I have ever watched a single like full hockey game in my entire life. Obviously, I hear about it, I see clips of it, I watch some of it when it's on TV, but I have never sat through an entire game before. So yeah, I'm not really Canadian in that sense. I do not know how to ride a bike. When other people say, oh, it's just like riding a bike, you'll know it when you actually do it again. I can't relate to that because I don't know how to ride a bike. In elementary, swimming was part of the phys ed program and it was mandatory to do the beginner level. So I know beginner level swimming, which basically means float. But aside from that, I don't know how to swim. But I do like watching swimming for the Olympics. Altogether, I am interested in racket sports, so badminton, table tennis, tennis, squash. Welcome to my hobbies. Favorite hobby is doing art, and more specifically painting and drawing. In the past few years, I've branched out from these two things. So I've done like vase decorating, watercolor, fashion designing, as well as DIY card making. So, but my core is always going to be painting, in my opinion, because it's just so much fun and I feel very happy doing it. It's a form of expression for me. Approximately 7, 8 years ago, I started blogging. It was a personal blog at the time where it was just me typing it into like a text box and then publishing it, but it wasn't public, so it was a private blog. And then I started a food and travel blog 6 years ago. So April was my 6-year anniversary, and I've kept up with that since 6 years ago. So yeah, I love blogging. I feel very creative, and I don't know, I just really enjoy telling people about my thoughts on food and traveling. I love watching Korean shows. I think it's one of the things that defines me as a person to most people. It's just Anita and K-dramas. I also watch a lot of variety shows as well. I used to be like a classic Charles Dickens fan. Travel facts. So like I was saying at the very beginning of the video, I have lived in Edmonton my entire life, other than those days where I am away for vacation. I've been to Vancouver. I've been to Calgary for a day trip, in addition to a day trip to Banff and Jasper. In the States, I've been to New York, Las Vegas, and San Francisco, and that's it for North America. In Asia, I've been to Japan, Korea, and China. Japan, it was just a layover. So what happened was my flight arrived in Japan late afternoon, and then I did stuff that evening, went back to the hotel, and then my connecting flight was the next morning. So I got to do a little bit of sightseeing during that evening, but that was pretty much it. And then in China, because my relatives are all in Guangzhou, every time me and my family go back, that's our home base. So then from there, I've been on several domestic tours, and I've been to Hong Kong and Macau. Now in China, I've been to these places as well as these places right here. One of my favorite, most memorable place that I've been to is the park in Zhenggagai. It's where Avatar was filmed. So what happened was the movie productions crew, they took shots of the mountains in this region. It's a national park, and then they did like a bunch of CGs and stuff to it. And so the mountains that appeared in the movie Avatar, they were actually these mountains but flipped upside down, and then since then it became this huge tourist attraction because that's where that movie was filmed. So I thought that was really cool. Of course, Korea. I've been there a total of 3 times. The first time was a tour, a 6-day tour with my mom and brother, and that was like an all Korea tour. So we went to tourist attractions that were all scattered throughout the country, but it was mostly in Seoul, like Upper Korea for the most part. And then the second time I went, it was a 10-day trip. The first 5 days I was by myself, and then the second half of the trip was with my brother, so there was 2 of us traveling there. The third time I was again there for 10 days, but this last time I was there by myself, and it was so enjoyable. I plan to do a 4th trip soon, but we'll see about that. I love the food and culture there. There's so much to do, and I also know that there's so much in this world to see, but I am just not done yet. So I want to go back and eat some more delicious foods. I want to visit in the, I guess, near future, like short term, meaning within the next 5 years. I want to explore Canada's East Coast because I have never been there before. There's a lot of seafood there, and I love seafood. There's a lot of also like markets and outdoor squares and whatnot, which I really enjoy. So I want to see that and experience East Coast Canada. I don't know what number I'm at right now, so I guess I'll just fill in the rest with random facts. My favorite color, purple. Least favorite color, red. My favorite school subject, before university was math. Surprise, surprise. And my least favorite subject was social studies. And in university, I did general sciences. My favorite class in undergrad was East Asian art history. Best class ever. When I met my friends in high school, they all thought I was Taiwanese. If you did think I was Taiwanese or from Taiwan, whatever, please let me know why you think that, because I am very curious. My first Korean drama was My Name is Kim Sam-soon. Before this particular drama, my mom was watching like random ones on TV because we had like a Chinese channel on satellite back in the day, and every weekend they would be showing a Korean drama. Just like tuned in for some of it, so I've never actually sat down and watched a complete drama till My Name is Kim Sam-soon. At the time, I was in high school and one of my classmates purchased this drama's DVD and she was like, oh, I just watched this, do you want to watch it too? It's really good. And then I was like, okay, sure, I'll watch it. And then once I started, I couldn't stop. Ever since then, I started finding my own to watch, so it's been 10 plus years since, and I like lost track of how many Korean dramas I've watched. And also simultaneously with watching these Korean dramas, my number of TVB dramas from Hong Kong also went like this. Like I just couldn't do Hong Kong dramas anymore after watching Korean dramas. My favorite Korean group, altogether boys and girls, is Big Bang. I think their music is very, just very artistic, both in terms of lyrics and the style. Also, nowadays, the music video plays a large part of it too. I just think that everything is very artistically done. And of course, I know Big Bang doesn't do everything on their own. It's a whole crew, but I don't know, like I am very attracted to their music. Also, in relation to Big Bang, I have been to one of their fan meets. It was one that was in China, but not all 5 members were present. There was GD, Taeyang, and Seungri in Guangzhou. I've been to the Big Bang Made tour in Las Vegas. I went with my 2 friends, Susan and Brenda, and this last September I went to see Taeyang in Vancouver for his White Night in Vancouver concert. It was his last stop in North America, and so it was such a blast. I had so much fun. He was so good. Like I always knew he was good, but like seeing him live and being that close, I was just like so overwhelmed. It was such an awesome concert, and I can't wait till they are done their military service and having a comeback. I'm just VIP. My favorite dessert is tiramisu, and basically all chocolate / coffee stuff. My personality type is INTJ. A lot of people don't think that, but I am. The first of these personality tests that I've done was in high school, and it was INTJ. And then before I started my second undergrad, I had to go through the same thing because it was like part of this large orientation thing where they want to get to know everyone. So I did the test the second time then, and it also said INTJ. And then most recently, about like half a year ago, during the winter time, I did it again for fun to see if my personality type changed, because apparently it changes more frequently than one would think, but mine did not change. I'm still an INTJ. I was a wedding MC once for one of my friends from childhood. She asked me to be her MC because she needed someone who could speak fluent Cantonese. She had a lot of relatives from Hong Kong and China coming for her wedding, so she wanted to have one MC that spoke in English, which was the main language, of course, and then she wanted a Chinese counterpart to the English MC, so I was that Chinese MC. It was really fun, and I, like, looking back now, I think there were so many instances where I could have done better, but for a first timer, I thought I did a pretty good job. My favorite season is spring because I was born in the springtime. Final words for this 50 facts about me. Yeah, I don't know how many facts I have told you. I hope it's close to 50. Oh, one thing, I forgot to mention my favorite animal. It's panda. Yeah. Anyways, I hope that's 50, maybe. Anyways, this is the end of my 50 facts about me video. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Please remember to leave comments because that is something that I hope to receive back from you guys. So thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later and see you through my daily vlogs.